leave the World Treaty Organization because they want to gain lands, as India leaves to prevent Chinese expansion. They form an alliance to manage to encircle China and allies. But a lot of the puppets freed by the World Treaty Organization now, as it's been a 4-year occupation. Meanwhile, in Africa, Morocco, Kenya, Somalia joined the alliance, planning to kick the World Treaty Organization out of Africa. Well, slowly and secretly, to not bring in World Treaty Organization intervention too soon. But can they stop? Well, India attacks China from the south, ready for war, along with Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, Korea, and Japan, believing China's the biggest threat now, this new revived China. And Poland unites with Lithuania to invade Ukraine with Romania. Well, please subscribe and let's get into it. Ready to happen as India's forces march into the Central Asian United Stand nation, and they march into China. As they manage to secure lands and rapidly secure Tibet and the coastline of the Stand nation. And while in East Asia, the Japanese and Koreans manage to make advances, thus quickly pushing China out of most of the north. The Philippines and Japan managed to seize Taiwan and this island as they move north, seizing land. Now, in the other front, rapid advances are made, such as the fall of Odessa, fall of Lviv, fall of Minsk. Well, they completely obliterate the nation. And well, they quickly move towards Kiev. And now, in that front, these nations go to war with the rest of Africa, while the world's distracted. And you might think, so it's only them. Nope, more nations join, which they leave the World Treaty Organization to join. This will be Morocco, Kenya, and Somalia, ready to get revenge, ready to free Africa, as they advance rapidly. A lot of these nations seeing them as liberators. Madagascar falls, followed by Central Africa falling, as they move south towards the Congo, thus securing lands. And from the south, they move into Angola and Zambia. And from the east, they move straight into the Congo. The west. No, the east, yeah. And west. As they seize this area quickly, thus moving into West Africa to free the rest of West Africa, with them quickly succeeding in it, and quickly defeating all the nations. And while they annex them all, but we'll have to wait till later to see how they do that, when we see a treaty for this. And at this point, we see NATO release some of their puppets. Some, not all. They release all the ones in the Baltics, seeing them as weak. And Spain, and Serbia, and Turkey. Meanwhile, they also stop this one. And they stop puppeting Iran. And they stop puppeting Siberia. But they keep puppeting only Russia. Yeah. Yep, Russia got called straight out by this. But let's go back to East Asia to see the chaos unfolding, with the Chinese Republic managing to push Japan back, pushing them to the border. Right now, it still stands well, but they manage to cross, thus rapidly advancing through the area, thus managing to take out the northern area. But this still isn't good. While Siberia and this northern republic decide to unite to create the Siberian Russian Republic. And while India's front stalls out a bit, but through Ukraine, there's no stalling out. But all the nations who've joined this have been basically kicked out of the alliance. With Ukraine on the verge of collapse, Kazakhstan has to hold it. Well, Stanistan, realistically. As they move into the former capitals of nations there and cities. And while they manage to encircle around Afghanistan, this area falls. With China managing to start to lose faster than they can move troops out of the area. As the advance moves fast, meanwhile, forces are at risk of encirclement, and Siberia refuses to let them through. Eventually, being irritated, Siberia decides to join from the north. Yes, now another front, being ready to gain back their former territories out of China. And while with the Siberian Republic in a first war, not a strong nation, not particularly strong, but they have a strong will to succeed. They quickly move into Mongolia, quickly moving in towards Ulaanbaatar, and quickly seizing in the north, with them seizing completely in the north, with Japan, the Philippines, and Korea launching a landing in southern China. Quickly, from Tibet, an offensive into Xinjiang is made by India, with an offensive by Siberia, eventually links up with an offensive by India's forces, thus cutting them off from most of their areas, thus turning basically that. And from the east, the European nations keep advancing, with a few nations not particularly happy with us. But as they take this area, and then they land here in the Shandong Peninsula, managing to secure the Yellow Sea in their favor. Well, over here, they do this, and then this. With the Seas of Beijing happening, I really need to fix the capital dots, because, And while they move in, taking Shanghai in spots after taking Beijing in the area. And then China manages to collapse. Well, let's see the peace treaty. North Africa was created and gained quite a bit of land. West Africa has been created. We also got Egypt, South Africa, and East Africa with an eventual plan to unite all. And you fix all these dots because there can't be that many capitals, and maybe either use Addis as a capital or Lagos, or maybe pick a central one. Yeah. Well, as you can see, let's go to the biggest peace treaty. Let's go here. With all of Belarus getting annexed by Poland, Lithuania, along with quite a bit of western Ukraine, with Romania gaining southern Ukraine towards the Dnieper, and the Siberian Republic gains the southern part, with it becoming a puppet. Thus, also, Kazakhstan, the northern part of the Stan Union, was annexed by Russia. Russia. So now they stretch here. They're just waiting to gain this area. World probably won't let them. Yeah, they don't want this. But now their alliance is getting weak. They have in the Arabia, they have one nation here, a few here and there. And while This alliance is to uproot Western domination over the world. And it will be brown. Should make an alliance map too, which can be this layer, made into a different layer, just copied, and then we can be all good. But the anti-Western alliance does gain some members. Members that they didn't realize would become revanchist, which include Bulgaria, seeking to destroy Greece, and Turkey. Serbia joins. Hungary is too mad to join. Spain doesn't join. Iran joins. And Saudi Arabia joins. Okay, I think this is the Beijing Pact 2.0. Isn't a good thing. With Malaysia joining. And Indonesia seeking a chance to overthrow the world order. With Australia and New Zealand staying put, and watching Sri Lanka get annexed. Ooh, that was fun. And also, this is part of here. As the West is now in a spot that isn't necessarily good. But they managed to gain more members in South America, Chile, Guatemala, Belize, Suriname, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay. They gain all of this. And Honduras and El Salvador don't join. But Costa Rica and El Salvador join, but not Honduras and that. All these small nations created here join. While Papua New Guinea, with them starting to be in basically a Cold War state. With Yemen just watching, and all these new nations realizing they're going to be forced into the alliance soon. They really have no option besides that. But as you can see, this world is splitting into three. And who wins next major war is undecided at this point. And while this alliance with these three nations seem kind of not much, because they'll easily be taken over, but as India becomes a leader of Asia and kick the World Trade Organization out, they plan to expand further, but not now, to kick American influence out of Oceania and Arabia and eventually Europe, but Africa is forced itself and begins to build up from nothing to wealthier, greater than the United States, without pesky neo-colonialists. But the World Trade Organization is becoming weaker as it has lost a lot of its control. This is all for today's video, but if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts and theories on our alternate future of the world series. Click the notification bell to not miss part 9 of our alternate future of the world series on Friday and American Paranoia on Monday. Wild Mapper out.